Let's see, what else? Can you be sexist towards men? No? What about you? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So wait, you guys said no.
Well, I'm on the side of the prejudice and power thing on this argument with all of it. Obviously, you can
Okay, another 5
dislike.
minutes. Sorry.
Oh, Lord.
There's a literal definition. It's misandry.
And then what? So what's your reason?
Well, actually, yeah. I guess you can be, but I wouldn't want to be. So.
No. Okay.
That wasn't the question.
The question is, can in general women, can you be racist towards men?
Sexist.
I guess it
Sexist.
would be
Or
sexist.
sorry,
I'm like,
so late.
Yeah.
Sexist. So yours is the prejudice. But what? So, can you be racist towards white people? No. What about you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
Let's go into this for just 5 minutes. Can you explain it a little bit?
I see what y'all are saying. I've experienced racism growing up in a predominantly black area and going to a very much predominantly black school and where I was in minority, but I'm not over here crying the white girl tears because historically and just with everything, I'm not the oppressed one. It's
Nope,
like I
I
said,
agree.
it has to be.
Hang on. I totally agree.
Bit of
Argument
power
completely
with it.
conceded. You conceded your own argument immediately. You just said that you experienced racism while you were at a black school. That's the end of that.
Checkmate.
I think that it is quite different, I think, than racism.
Did you
because
experience
that's on,
racism while you were at this
societal-
predominantly black school or
on a
not?
societal level, but this was my experience in a small area, and also we're talking about a group of people that have been so mistreated and taken advantage
Oh, I
of.
see.
And
So prejudice is power, right? It's power plus prejudice equals to racism. So when you were the minority in a black school, you experienced racism. That's the end of that. Thanks.
okay.
Sassy.
That means that black people can be racist towards white people, right?
Well, I guess, but
Yeah.
okay, fine.
Yeah.
They could, but it's a matter.
But I mean, you
of
could argue
if they
that-
are.
I would say it was
levels.
valid. I would say it was very valid for them to feel the way that they do based on what they have been through, what their generations before them and their family lineage have freaking been
You
through.
deserved it. Was it good for you?
They
Was
are
it
just
good?
children.
Did you deserve it?
They were just children who have been experiencing a lot of, I'm sure that they experienced way more racism than I did, though.
But that's not what we're talking
so
about.
you deserved it?
There's kids bully kids, and whether it's racist or
Yeah, but did you deserve for
not.
them to be racist towards you or not?
Were you doing something that...
Hold on. No. Hold on. Answer the question.
Did I deserve it? Not me personally. I don't think.
Yeah, so you didn't deserve it, and they were racist towards you, and you were the minority, and they had the institutional power, and so therefore, whites can experience racism from blacks, right?
Yeah, but I'm not hurting from it in the same
What
way.
does that have to do with anything?
I'm too tired to talk about.
I'm really too tired for this and a little bit hungover and jet lagged. But
Well, I'm a little tired and hungover. I'm not
I mean,
jet lagged, but
you can.
I've seen
I've
people be
seen
racist towards my husband. He's white, and I've seen it with my own eyes, and I'm a person of color, and it's, it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
I mean,
Valid,
This
but
is
this
a
is
pretty
just my
fair
personal
panel, to be
opinion.
honest,
That, I'm an agreeable person, I see.
Get your
what you're saying.
25s in. We're gonna wrap. Any further thoughts on this, Andrew?
yeah, well, I'm just trying to explain to you that both ways here, your ideology has to be wrong. Either way one, that your ideology is wrong, is that you started out by saying, I've experienced racism when I was in a predominantly black school where I was the minority. But then he went on to say, well, but I think that racism can really only be prejudice plus power. But if you're the only minority in that school, or one of the few minorities in that school, then the power would go over to these other people who are not the minorities at the school. So if that's the case, that's still
this is
prejudice plus
small.
power by your criteria. So both ways, whites can experience racism, right?
Theoretically, yes. And
But the racism
Well, this
that
can't
they
be
showed toward
theoretical
me did
because it
not, like-
happened.
The racism they showed toward me in this one small little example, in this little scenario, did not have an effect on like everything to do with my life and my grandparents and like segregation and all this stuff. Like,
I see. So if that's the case,
I
if
wasn't
it
hurt
didn't-
by it. I was like, okay, I've been bullied.
Fair,
I've been
you know what?
this
Fair
and that.
enough.
Like, I just
it didn't
looked at
have
it
a
as
long-term,
bullying.
lasting
And
effect on you.
they
I
don't
get
know
it.
better,
But let me ask
the
you
kids.
this. Yeah. Let me ask you this though. If you didn't deserve it, which is what you're saying, it must have had some effect on you because you remember that you didn't deserve it, right?
I said, yeah, me personally, it's not like I was the one, like, I did not live in the, like, slave owning days or do any shit like that.
Right.
But
Right. So I mean, you didn't deserve that. But let us assume for a second, it made all of those people who were racist towards you feel better. Do you think they should have been racist towards you?
makes them feel better.
Yeah.
I mean, if it makes them feel better, I really don't mind being someone's punching bag.
Perfect. You have just justified anti-black racism by whites. Ding
Okay.
ding. Good job. You just justified it, saying as they could do it because it makes them feel
Well,
better.
the white people are still doing it to them, so
Yeah, but
kind
it's
of
okay
even.
because it makes them feel better.
it's even. It's
How's it
literally-
even? If more white people
for
feel
that.
better because there's more white people
But
than there
they're
are
not-
black
they're not
people,
the
and it
ones
makes
that are
them feel
oppressed
better,
and,
then
like,
by your
have
logic, they should be able to do it.
generational trauma and like are oppressed as shit, and yeah, they're not the ones that are hurting from it. So we as white people aren't feeling better by being
Wait,
racist.
I do want to point out one thing here. History shows that white people were slaves much longer than black people.
Yeah, and I'm actually
So
Irish
between
and
between
Ashkenazi,
okay, but
so
like between like 1500 and 1750, there
I-
were like millions and millions of white slaves.
yeah,
just saying.
I mean, my ancestors for sure were. I did a 23andMe, but
Word.
so.
Anyways, final thing on this, Andrew. Otherwise, I do want to try to get things
Yeah,
wrapped
yeah.
up here.
So I'm just
I think
saying
their
the final
owners were
thing.
also
You might
white.
want
I thought this was a
you might
dating
want to
show.
reevaluate whether or not people should be able to be racist towards you because it makes them feel better. That seems like a
I'm-
really bad
we're
position, which
moving
would
it
actually
into a
justify.
more-
Hang on. Let me
we're moving
finish.
in a
I'm
better
almost done.
direction.
And I'll give you the last
It's
word.
still
Hang on.
hard, though. Like, okay.
Hang on, calm down. You might want to reevaluate it. Yeah, you don't seem calm. But yeah, anyway, you might want to reevaluate that because you'll end up justifying racism. That's what you'll end up doing, right?
You want to find the word or
Final word. Go
good?
ahead.
Do you want to find the word?
I'm saying that all that stuff, it wasn't that long ago. So the tension is still there, and I think that we're moving away from racism, and I think that's a great thing. I'm not trying to justify racism. I simply said I think
Okay.
racism is more of a prejudice and
Navigating
power thing.
Patterns donated $50.